Did you know Samsung once had a crown prince? No, not a real royal, but the heir to a multi-billion-dollar empire. This is the story of Lee Jae-yong, the man who was supposed to seamlessly take over one of the world's biggest tech giants. But instead of a coronation, he got a courtroom. This isn't just a business drama. It's a saga that reached the highest levels of South Korean politics, involving a president, a mysterious shaman-like figure, and accusations that sound like they're straight out of a movie. We're talking about bribery, embezzlement, and a political scandal so massive it led to the impeachment of a president. How did the heir to Samsung, a company that makes up a huge chunk of South Korea's economy, end up in jail? What were the secret deals happening behind the closed doors of corporate boardrooms and the presidential Blue House? It all started with a merger, till Samsung affiliates needed to combine for Lee Jae-yong to secure his control over the entire conglomerate. But some shareholders weren't happy. They argued the deal undervalued one company to benefit the Lee family. To push the merger through, they needed a powerful ally: the government-run National Pension Service, a major shareholder in one of the companies. And that's where things get really murky. Prosecutors alleged that Samsung made massive donations, totaling tens of millions of dollars, to foundations controlled by Choi Sun-sil, a close friend and confidant of then-President Park Geun-hye. These weren't just charitable donations. The prosecution argued they were bribes, a quid pro quo. In exchange for this financial support, the president's office allegedly pressured the National Pension Service to approve the controversial merger, cementing Lee Jae-yong's power. There were even allegations that Samsung funded an expensive dressage horse for Choi's daughter. A horse, in exchange for control of a global empire. When this story broke, it sent shockwaves across South Korea. People were outraged. The idea that a corporation could essentially buy political favors from the president's office was a massive blow to public trust. Millions took to the streets in what became known as the candlelight protests, demanding President Park's resignation. It was one of the largest protest movements in the country's history. The fallout was immense. President Park Geun-hye was impeached and later sentenced to prison. Her friend, Choi Sun-sil, was also jailed. And then, the focus turned to Samsung's crown prince. In early 2017, Lee Jae-yong was arrested. The image of the head of South Korea's most powerful company being led away in handcuffs was broadcast around the world. It was a stunning moment. He was initially sentenced to 5 years in prison for bribery and other charges. But the story doesn't end there. The legal battle became a real. Lee's sentence was later suspended, and he was released, only to be sent back to prison after a retrial. He was eventually granted parole, and then a presidential pardon, with the government citing the need for his leadership to navigate economic uncertainties. This case raises so many questions. Is anyone, even the head of a company as powerful as Samsung, truly above the law? Or does economic importance grant a different set of rules? This scandal exposed the deep, often shadowy connections between South Korea's family-run conglomerates, known as chaebols, and the government. It sparked a nationwide debate about corporate governance, justice, and whether the system that helped build South Korea into an economic powerhouse was now holding it back. The story of Lee Jae-yong is more than just a tale of corporate greed. It's a reflection of a nation grappling with its own identity, caught between tradition and the demand for transparency and fairness. What do you think? Was justice served, or did the crown prince ultimately get a royal pardon? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and do you and T forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world.